Well, a very warm welcome to you. Joining us at Ollie Campbell Park, we've got Old Belvedere against Cooke. It's been a wet and miserable day so far. Joining me in the commentary box today, Leslie Ring. Leslie, good afternoon.
Thanks very much, Craig. Yeah, a very warm welcome indeed. It's not warm here in Dublin today, so I think everyone has the layers on, and I think more people maybe have chosen to watch online than show up at the moment. We'll see.
It could be that way indeed. Here's the Old Belvedere side coming up in front of us now. Few changes.
Yeah, it's been a kind of an interesting period since Christmas. I think Belvo have a total of 30 players unavailable to them at the moment for various reasons. But we're very glad to have Katie Whelan and Claire Gorman back in the side. They've been in Ireland camp for the last little while and are released to us this weekend. So they'll certainly bolster that back line there. And then we have in the pack Amma Addo, who has been absolutely flying it for the J1s this year. She normally plies her trade at 15. She's moving herself into 6 today. So I'm excited to see how she goes. She's a tackling machine and has speed to burn. So it'll be great to see how she gets on today.
So between Irish call-ups and injuries and such like, resources stretched today? Yes,
and have been for a couple of weeks, and plenty of people who have been maybe doubling between the J1s and the first team. So I think that the decision was made to pull the J1s from the Cup competition, which is disappointing. But it does mean that, we have a really strong squad today, and plenty of people get the opportunity to play first team rugby for the rest of the year.
Now, Belvedere have had good record against Cooke in recent years.
Yeah, Cooke are always a really strong physical side. They'll be good in the scrums, and they have some big ball carriers there. So I'm sure, having seen Belvo's results of late, they'll be looking to see if they can get a win here today. But Belvo are without a win in this cup competition, sitting at the bottom of the table, and they'll be looking to get some points on the board today.
Well, here we are. The game gets underway. Well, Cooke had nobody up at the 10-metre line, and that's enabled the ball to hit ground, and Belvedere have stolen it.
Yeah, nice steal by Minona Nunstedt there, Swedish international, after a clever kick from Gemma Jackson on the kickoff.
Gemma Farrell, of course, now since she got married.
She'll always be Gemma Jackson to me.
Well, it's not so much a clash of colours, but a clash of monochromes. That's a nice kick there. Gemma Farrell putting it right into the 22.
Yeah, trying to get Claire Gorman on the ball there. She's an absolute speedster, so trying to get her into play.
Fine tackle, but well cleared up by the Cooke pack. And they try to move the ball out towards their 22, perhaps giving their half a bit of room to kick from.
Yeah, they'll be looking to exit here and see what they can do after that.
Let it come. Hindmost.
As you hear in the background, ref link.
Belva will be pretty happy with that outcome there. They're just inside the 22 in a good attacking position.
Yeah, my hand is you.
Ref link always a great help to the commentators and hopefully to you two at home.
Late, I'll give you time to adjust, okay?
So
5 calls.
A very different starting lineup in the pack today. It'll be interesting to see how this line goes for Old Belvo now.
On the 5.
Well, certainly 2 new second rows.
Yeah, Emma Buckley has a few AIL caps to her name, and she's well able to step up.
That one just a bit untidy. And in fact, the line out goes to Cooke now.
I can take the gap off you then, okay? 5. Okay, we're inside
Jane
the 22.
Neal, of course,
inside.
joining Emma Buckley in the second row. She's a really promising player, is dual status with Arklow, and has some underage Ireland caps as well.
The future is bright. Now the line out again, mistimed. Belvedere bursting through, and they've taken it already 10 yards inland.
Jane Neal did well to get her hands on that.
Going back to the pack. Ola McAuliffe driving forward, making a nice base so that they can go both ways. And Katie Whelan saw half a gap and went for it.
Yeah, really good carry from Orla McAuliffe there. She's been flying it for the J1s. Really disruptive ball carrier, so well able to play at this level as well.
And Mercer takes the ball round the edge. They're keeping it quite tight, and now finally it comes out along the back line.
Nice step from Claire Gorman there.
Short.
Brought up just in front of the line. Oh, that's going to be a big push here now.
Try is good.
And the try is good.
And Emma Buckley, who just scored her first try for the J1s last week, now gets her first try for the...
Turning into a try machine.
Yeah.
Always useful to have in the second row. You could see how delighted she was with that.
She's going to be buzzed by that.
I'd say she expended more energy running back to the halfway line, celebrating than she did getting over the line. But she did really well. And that's 5-0 to Belvedere with under 3 minutes on the clock. Gemma Farrell now will line up this conversion. Coach Johnny Garth, pitch invasion.
She's a left footer, so this might suit her.
Refreshment orders going in on the sidelines.
That's our manager, one of the management team, Shauna Fitzgerald. She's known for her love of tea.
Oh, just pulled to the right of the posts. Conversion no good, but 5-0 for Belvedere. They're off to an absolute flying start. No scoreboard today. Luckily enough, we have one on the screen. And our producer well on top of things there.
Full credit to the management team today. There was, the usual kind of drama that happens before kickoffs. Mountains are moved to get this game played. So we'll give Ailish Slack a break there. She was swearing in the commentary box beside us at the scoreboard. We might see its appearance in a couple of minutes.
Well, you certainly see all the tasks that a manager has to undertake with Ailish. She's been clearing the pitch of standing water, finding shorts for players, making cups of tea. It's non-stop, really.
Offering the referee 2 different sets of jerseys, because obviously there's a bit of a colour clash here, but hopefully it's not too much of an issue. Great carry by Vic O'Mahony there.
She's made a good 10, 12 yards there.
Katie Whelan with a lovely box kick there.
Well, nobody challenged the catch, but they also brought the player down early, and that will be a knock-on. Well, one suspects with the conditions today there are going to be a few handling errors.
Yeah, and so scrum dominance will be very important. And as I mentioned, Cooke are known for their scrum.
Couldn't get out of the way.
A really strong front row. Aisling O'Connell, their captain. She's a very experienced player, and alongside her is Ilse van Staden, who has Irish caps as well.
Well, this will be certainly a first scrum of the game. Setting the standard now. Thought would be on these conditions to get the ball out of the scrum quickly, unless one side is particularly dominant.
It's a nice solid scrum there by the looks of it from Belvedere. They'll be happy with that.
Yes, we can.
Referee just deciding that the front rows have slipped, and once again with the handling errors, I think we're also going to find a few reset scrums.
Yeah, just concerned about the underfoot conditions there, so moving it slightly. Belva have their own kind of experienced players in that front row there. Melissa Hayden recently reached 100 AIL appearances, and Vic O'Mahony as well is another kind of cornerstone of the Belva scrum.
Yes, the 2 props have provided solid backing for Belvedere before, but this one is very tight and contested, and in fact the ball has come back on the Cooke side. That's a great strike against the head for Cooke. Don't see that too often in the modern game.
Yeah, not too sure what happened there, but Cooke have come up with it.
I think there was an element of kicking it forwards into the Cooke side. But Cooke won't care about that. They've made some space. They've gone down the left wing.
Ilse van Staden did very well.
The winger just overran the pass.
Yeah, it's a nice carry by Ilse van Staden there. She drew the player and passed and released her back line there.
Okay, I'm in the middle.
Referee offering the choice of scrum or line out. Belvedere taking the line out, and after that last scrum, they feel they're better off this way.
Aideen Murtagh coming up with the ball there. Lovely execution there. And a nice tip on from Emma Kelly there to release Orla McAuliffe into the midfield.
That's good driving. Oh, and that's a shame. Everything had gone up right there so far. Emma Buckley, the scorer of the try that separates the 2 teams at the moment, on this occasion unable to take the ball. And it falls to turf, and the referee sets us up for another scrum.
Let's go, Belvedere.
It'll be interesting to see how this scrum goes now. I know that Ailish Egan, Belvo's scrum coach, will be hoping that Belvo can win the hit this time and challenge the Cooke scrum a little bit here.
Coach! Fine! Set! Steady!
Referee through his marks. Number 8 picks up quickly.
Yeah.
Stacey Sloan has made a good bit of ground. She's over the gain line.
Just knocked on off 9.
But the referee spotted the knock on, and we go for another scrum.
Just forward from 9.
Well, the front rows and the forwards here are going to get a good working out, and there'll be half of them. They'll be quite delighted to stay warm in the scrums, I think.
It's true, the backs are probably shivering from not having much of the ball yet.
Second! Coach!
Gemma Farrell now.
Fine! Set!
Just to the right of the scrum.
Wait for it!
But there's good overlap on both sides, the advantage being in the middle of the pitch. However, Cooke have produced a fabulous scrum, and it's earned them the penalty. And this could spell trouble for Belvedere today.
Yeah, again, I think Cooke got a really good hit there, and we're just able to kind of push on from that initial drive that they got there. So Belvo would hopefully be able to remedy that.
Well, having won the penalty from the scrum, Cooke have decided to go again.
Keep an eye on her, but you just make sure you stay straight and don't go under and up as well. Just give me that better picture, yeah?
Well, that's superb by the ref. Firm communication, letting everybody know exactly what he expects.
Vic O'Mahony giving out instructions there to the rest of her pack.
Georgia Boyce now, the Cooke scrum half.
Coach!
I presume the scrum half and the right winger, both Boyces. I presume they're related.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. You'd imagine so.
And again, the number 8 has gone and she's chipped ahead. No mark called by Energia Donnelly.
Good take by Anya Donnelly there under a bit of pressure.
One felt she might have.
Use it!
She might have taken the mark there. And she instead, scrum half uses Emma Buckley, and she's bursting through again across the gain line.
Yeah, we don't often see marks used in women's rugby, but definitely something that could be brought into the game a bit more.
Yeah?
That's a good kick there, finding touch.
Yeah, nicely done there. Obviously, the ball was taken back into the 22, so it needed to hit grass before going out. And
in fact, was only 5 yards away from being a 50-22.
Yeah, and Gemma Farrell has a great boot on her.
So just short of the halfway line now. Cooke will be pleased with this opening 10 minutes, apart from that early try, but they seem to have settled into the game now. There's a bit of hesitation in the line out.
Knock on advantage.
Belvo coming away with it again.
Belvo will be looking to use this advantage now. Big drive again into the back line.
That rip is fine, no advantage for the knock-on.
Superb tackle by Cooke, ripping the ball away from Orla McAuliffe. However, the earlier knock-on means that Belvedere will have to put in at the scrum. Yeah. And you've got to be thinking that Katie Whelan wants to get this in and out of this scrum quite quickly now.
Yeah, Belvo will just be looking to get this ball away as quickly as they can and get their backs playing. They have a really good quality backline today. Emma Kelly and Minona Nunstead are a formidable combination outside JJ. So we're looking to get the two of them on the ball.
And club captain Jenny Murphy, what's her story at the moment?
Jenny has kind of been suffering with a bit of an injury since the Interpros, so she hasn't been available to us. I believe she's over in Scotland having a great time this weekend.
Well, hopefully she's watching her colleagues here now today.
I have no doubt Jenny is watching.
Pass the advantage, mine.
Advantage, and that's a good pass from the out half, finding her prop, driving up the middle again, committing more defenders, and again, pop pass around the edge.
That's fine, we'll go back now, badge number 7, clear release.
No clear release of the tackle.
Part of the tackle, I need to see a clear release.
Well, you said she was a tackle machine.
I believe that was actually Adrian Murta who
Time off.
got the penalty called on her, but she is another tackle machine. Probably a bit of
Time off.
an unsung hero and doesn't get the praise she deserves sometimes. She never misses a tackle and is great in all areas of the pitch, both sides of the ball.
I suppose it's that competition for places that's all important for a club. She's wearing your shirt, isn't she?
I don't think it's
Okay?
my shirt or anyone's shirt at the moment, but
no
yeah,
problem.
there's fierce
Take your time,
competition
block
in the back row, and I think everyone who plays there is feeling the pressure, myself included.
Well, time off has been called. One of the Cooke players just getting a little bit of attention there, you see.
It's not running, is it? No, you're good. Okay. You happy to play on? You happy to play on?
Everyone grabbing the drink while they can, although one suspects it should be a warm drink that they're getting out there today.
Yeah,
number 7,
maybe a hot port
Strong
instead
call.
in the water
Strong
bottles
call.
instead.
Well, I did come across one situation whereby, should we say, a lowly men's team once had whiskey and water in the water bottles, which was all very fine until somebody got a cut. I've never seen a player leap to their feet as quickly as one who had whiskey put on an open cut. So, scrum down, just inside the 10-yard line. Cooke again in a good position here.
Fine!
They'll be looking to emphasise their superiority at the scrum that they've shown so far. But this time,
Looks like an early drive from Cooke, possibly, or
no,
a
the
knee down.
prop went down on their knee, possibly put a hand down as well. And that's cost them the penalty. Either that or else the referee's courtesy.
So Gemma Farrell takes Belvo just inside the halfway.
Well, the conditions aren't really conducive to open running, but that's what Belvedere will be looking for. Stretch this Cooke pack, get them running around the pitch.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, and we can see
No, you
there's
set your gap off then. You not coming in.
a pod set up there with Emma Kelly and 2 forwards. So we're looking to release them.
And the centre takes it up.
Sliding run by Emma Kelly there.
Across the gain line again. Oh, that's a fabulous pickup. Melissa Hayden,
yeah.
sorry. Melissa Hayden with a fabulous pickup off the ground.
Yeah.
And now Gemma Farrell has put it down the field, but it's been picked up. Very well. Amanda Morton doing a fine job for Cooke there, giving them a solid platform to work from.
Yeah, good strong carry there by Jesse van Staden again.
Oh,
Play on off the head.
An unintentional tip-on pass there, inside ball. Worked out.
Forward.
that's a scrum down for Belvedere.
Yeah.
Again, Cooke showing that they have the potential and they have the power. Well, I've not been keeping count of the number of scrums, but there's been a fair few at this stage.
That's the mark, Cooke.
Yeah, I'd say we'll be into the mid-20s by the end of the game. You'd have to imagine at the rate we're going at now. Good field position here. They're just kind of halfway in between the 10 and the 22. You can see Claire Gorman has come in off her wing, and they'll be looking to use her in this play.
Well, both sides are a bit narrow. I'd like to see Grace Tutty coming a bit wider onto her wing, because if nothing else, it would bring a defender with her.
You got your wish there. Grace Tuddy on the ball, making a nice run there. And unfortunately, maybe the colour shirt caught her out there. She passes to a Cooke player.
Well, Amanda Morton found herself with the ball in hand, and I think she was quite surprised at that.
Time off.
One of the Cooke players down. Face down. That is not a happy player.
Grace Tuddy just joined Belvo this year from CYM and has just come back from a long injury layoff and got her first AIL cap last week against Galwegians and also got her first try. So she'll be looking to add to that tally.
Are you okay?
And was that game down in Glaswegians?
Take a second.
Glaswegians.
In Galway.
Galway, thank you.
Indeed it was. Always a tough place to go and play. and Galwegians came out on top. But by all accounts, it was a great Belva performance. Again, a lot of changes, a lot of new people in, and the girls put in a performance that we're proud of. Played some jouet rugby.
I can't count that high.
Good chat between the ref and players. This game being played on a fine spirit. But both sides now, with the rain having ceased.
Coach! Fine!
I always think if you can make a referee laugh, he might give you a few calls. We'll see, does it work?
Always better to get on with a ref than wind him up.
Minona Nunstead on the ball here now.
And that's a good pass out. And Katie Whelan's through to the line, and she's going to make it.
Yeah.
Try number 2 for Belvedere. And again, once they get ball through hands, they are sort of showing where they're superior, I suppose.
Yeah, really clever using Minona Nunstead off the scrum there. She is, I'd say, 6 foot something, and really, really hard to pull down. I think every defence struggles with her. And she got a lovely offload to Katie Whelan there, who dots it down.
Well, second try of the game, second try for Belvedere. Scoreboard now working.
Full credit to Ailish Slack beside us there for getting that sorted out. Doing the Lord's work.
About 18 goals.
This time there's no difficulty, and Gemma Farrell collects the extra 2 points, takes the score out to 12-0 to Old Belvedere.
Yeah, Gemma Farrell has been known to give out to the try scorers before for not getting close to the post, so she'll be very happy with where Katie Whelan managed to place the ball just there.
Almost the perfect spot for her, just slightly to the right of the post, allowing her with her left foot just to bring it back in.
Yeah, I think the only reason she does that is because she gets a good bit of abuse off her father Ivan, who's standing in front of us down there, and her husband Charlie.
Okay.
So Cooke playing with whatever wind we have here at Ollie Campbell Park. Certainly was a lot more wind earlier on.
Yeah,
seems to calm down.
Judging by the flags that Ailish Slack put out earlier, the wind does seem to be blowing down towards the Belvo end at the moment.
Hold in front.
Great chase there by Grace Tuddy.
Megan Edwards, though, did very well.
And allows Vic O'Mahony to get a turnover there, and she makes a nice run off that as well. Vic O'Mahony is in flying form at the moment. She's kind of back to what we would call 2018 Vic.
Pre-COVID Vic. Again, dragging in the defenders, not going down with the first tackle. Katie Whelan sees another gap. She takes on the second row forward, gets past her, and is just outside the 22 when she's finally brought to ground.
Yeah, Katie Whelan is known for her sniping runs. She's really quick to identify when there's no pillar set, and she makes tons of yards there.
Ball going across the back line, and that's neatly done. Kept the ball alive even in the tackle.
Yeah, Minona Nunstead again, given...
Gemma Farrell going around the outside, puts the ball onto her foot, chasing through.
Okay, no back for the...
So we'll come back for a penalty for offside. Really nice play by the Belvo backline there, though. Lots of offloads and tip-ons, and it's the kind of rugby that the coaches will be really pleased with.
That was penalty. Well,
certainly good work from the two centres, taking him into the tackle, but making the ball available before going to ground, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, even Anya Donnelly there, just keeping the ball alive, getting it out, and then Claire Gorman again, just recycling and getting it to JJ there.
Great work by Gemma Farrell, looping round.
We're going for tap and go here.
Do you spend much time practicing like Leinster appear to? They seem to have come up with some really fabulous tap and goes.
We do have a few kind of in our armoury, possibly less complicated or maybe less ambitious than the Leinster ones, but they are effective when executed. And it really seems to be the...
Good driving again, good offloading, and it's changing the point of attack each time, and that's what Cooke are having problem keeping up with. But at this stage, referee deciding that the player tackled was trying to make too much ground after the tackle.
Yeah, Jess Keating called there. Obviously the
Take your mark.
rule that came in a little while ago about taking an extra roll is still one that sometimes players forget to remember.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It bounced in play, but couldn't be taken. So,
Option of a scrum or line, it's
Yeah.
4 touch.
At the end of the day,
Scrum.
well, the knock on there,
yeah.
conceding the scrum, and Cooke will be happier with that than they would have been with the line out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Here's the mark, Cooke.
But hopefully Belva will be able to give Cooke a bit of competition here now.
If anything, it seems to have got a bit brighter with the clouds lifting a bit, and certainly the rain seems to have ceased.
Yeah, the flags aren't blown quite as much as well.
5, set, steady.
Again, the defence here and
Yeah.
the attack both quite narrow on the pitch. The wingers almost halfway across the pitch, which leaves a big gap on the outside. If Cooke can reach that outside, and they're trying to.
Tackle all the way.
Really good
Off
scrum
your
there
feet,
by
James,
Belva,
go
and
there,
a
off
great
your feet.
tackle off the side of it from Amma Addo. Cooke seemed to be using their number 8 off the scrums a good bit, so she shut that down pretty quickly.
Oh, advantage, not rolling away, number 3.
Penalty to Cooke.
Poacher's fine, number 3 didn't roll. 14 is fine, yes.
Vic O'Mahony getting called for not rolling away
Number
there.
3, roll, please.
Claire Goldman was doing good work in that. Oh, nearly kept in by Anya Donnelly. She tried to go for the spectacular. Didn't quite come off for her. And Cooke will get the line out.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for effort for Anya. You know, former Kildare footballer, and I know has some Ireland caps to her name as well. So she'd be well used to
Anya.
catching a high ball.
Well, shortened line out.
Yeah, Cooke have kind of been nearly overcomplicating their lineouts. I think a simple one for speed might work best. And a great steal by Aideen Murta there.
Getting up at the front of the line out, disrupting it.
Almost, give me a second.
Then the rest of the pack helping. Casey Whelan then with the box kick. And that's very tight on the line. And in fact, it's gone straight out.
Straight out,
So
straight out.
maybe-
Straight out, touch judge.
Touch judge seemed to miss that one, but the referee was wise to it.
football.
Belva nearly got away
Kick
with
straight
it.
up with Belva.
So
Right,
Cooke will
football,
get
you take
another
the line.
try. Another attempt
Belva,
anyway
you're on the line. You
to
take
get this line out right. They do have a big pod standing at out half. Certainly a couple of the forwards there.
And nearly
Well
another
taken.
steal there. A little bit unlucky.
Helen McGee doing fine work for Cooke, and she's let.
Belva are a bit short on the outside now. They'll need to get players around.
Advantage 9.
And again, another penalty advantage to Cooke. Let's see if they can make anything of this.
That's fine. No advantage. Number 6 not rolling away over here. Number 6, roll away, please.
Adu being the one who didn't roll away, conceding the penalty. Will Cooke look to quick kick from here? Do they have a kicker?
I'm not sure, but they seem to be going for the line by the looks of it.
Just making touch.
Knock on into touch. Okay. Captain, option knock on into touch. Get the option.
Wondering if Cooke might go for a scrum here.
I think
Looks
they
like
will.
It's been called by Aisling O'Connell there.
Scrum is working so well for Cooke so far. They've only conceded one penalty, but they've driven back Belvedere on
If the ball's
multiple
away,
occasions.
Yeah, I think the last scrum that we had, Belva
Yeah, that's fair
actually competed very well, so they'll be hoping they can do the same here.
I can't call that a save to you, but if one of your players wants to ask, I'll answer them. On the 5 is good.
So 26 minutes gone. Score remains 12-0. And this is possibly the best opportunity Cooke have had for a while.
Steady!
Yeah, I think it's one of the first times they've gotten inside Belva's 22, so they'll be looking to execute off this.
Oh, that's a much better scrum from
Yeah.
Belvedere. And in
Aideen
fact, they've
Murta
come up with the ball.
pounces on it there. It comes out the side by the looks of it. Belva will be very happy with that. So scrum slowly improving by the looks of it, which is always
Advantage!
positive when you can fix as you go along.
Jane Neal was the one who drove the ball up, giving Gemma Farrell a bit of room.
And a penalty called here for not rolling away. So Belvo have the opportunity now to take a penalty and get a few more yards from this.
It would have been yours, I could have given it to you.
Cara O'Kane there, doing some fine work for Cooke, but just not rolling away, and the referee pinged her for it. Gemma Farrell goes for distance, and a great effort to try and keep it in by Amanda Morton, but she was on the line.
Yeah, Amanda Morton looking for a TMO there.
Yeah, on you three is good.
She's wondering was there the linesman's call right. It's a Belvo line out here. Aideen Mercer hasn't put a foot wrong in these line-outs yet. She's doing smashing work.
Again, the driving ball gets over the gain line.
Great hands by Emma Buckley there to hang on to it.
Being driven back now, but they still retain the ball, and that's the important thing here. And it spins. Oh, Claire Gorman, unfortunately, putting it to deck.
I think Grace Tuddy there, actually, unfortunately knocking it on.
That's a shame. Promising attack comes to an out. Instead, Georgia Boyce waiting for her teammates to form up this scrum. Hannah Downey, the out half, on the open side at the moment. They've left the blind side very vacant.
Coach! Fine! Set! Steady!
Yeah, you'd certainly think that they don't have a plan to go blind. Scrum kind of wheeling a bit there. Belvo definitely doing their best.
Definitely to Belvo's advantage, because it did close off the blind side. And now they come through.
Backward! Echo. Roll away, 9. Let it come.
Cooke getting it across the line, avoiding the tackle, but all she's done is put
from Belvo there.
Put her teammate into trouble.
Yeah, Minonan Unstead and Grace Tuddy up on them quick and have driven Cooke back a good bit. Lovely tackle by Emma Kelly there.
Christy Hill making the breakthrough for Cooke.
Nice offload by Ilse van Staden to Aisling O'Connell.
Two props working so well in harmony together.
And again, great line speed. Aideen Murta just up on them very quick. And Grace Tuddy and Orla McAuliffe, both former CYM players, pulling the Cooke player down.
Certainly a lot of ball and tackle are arriving at the same time.
Yeah, Belva doing well to just close down Cooke's attack here.
I would like to see Boyce, the Cooke scrum half,
no lift on the ball, your hands on
committing.
See a lift. No, not now. No second goal.
The pillars. But most of the time she's just shoveling the ball out. They're all standing still, really, not making any ground.
It's one of the first times Kelly McCormill got on the ball there. They're 12 who also lined out for the combined provinces recently.
Quick tap, the back row combining to bring Cooke into the 22. Hannah Downey just flicking it back to her scrum half.
And again, a great tackle by Emma Kelly.
I can't award you because you're number 12. You are fine, number 12 has to roll. Next breakdown.
Cooke taking it quick here.
Well, do they have the support? They do so far. Hannah Downey looking for a forwards now.
Just lost a little bit of line speed there. Cooke definitely have a bit of momentum. And a good counter ruck there by Belvo. Excellent work by Jess Keating to drive that ball back, and Orla McAuliffe in after.
Let it come, ball is available.
Well, for a winger, Edwards, the Cooke left winger, done an awful lot of work there to ensure that her side kept the ball. Stacey Sloan taking it off, just getting support in time.
Yeah, Stacey Sloan's having a great game. She's very dynamic in the carry and very strong.
7, you're straight onto the ground on top of her.
And Cooke are called for
Yeah, I'm happy to
being
help
off their
you. Get back
feet,
on quick on that.
so it's a Belva ball.
Yes, sort of leaning on the forearm a wee bit at times, which is tired, but that's just from my point of view.
I keep an eye. I haven't seen. I'll look out for it. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Time's up. Just number 7, Latcher, straight off the feet.
Time is off at the moment. You'll see the clock on your screen still ticking on. Hence, it won't be exactly 40 minutes that
It's quite frantic there as
Yeah.
well.
What I've had from you guys.
sees the half.
The poacher's perfectly legal, but I can't award the poacher
It
if
looks
someone
like
isn't rolling away.
the rain has kind of come back,
A
hasn't
couple of times
it?
the poacher's been
All our
absolutely fine.
supporters
But
with the
if the
hoods
player
up.
on the ground
Is
hasn't
it
rolled,
rain or
I
is it
can't
just
award. Okay.
enveloped by a cloud?
Possibly a bit of both.
Well, considering the state of the weather, a fair few people have come down to watch this game, even with the alternative attraction, I say attraction, of England-France.
Yeah, currently 27 points to 3, so France really thrashing England
one?
at the moment. And
Yeah,
being
no
the
problem.
away team, that's a little bit
Number
unexpected.
7.
Well, nicely finds touch.
The Latcher and you're off the
Plenty,
feet. You try
plenty to
give me
spare
the
there
roll
as
out of the
well.
way,
With that kick.
or I'll stay on your feet. Thanks.
Again, the referee, to be commended, he's providing
Yeah,
full
and he's done-
explanations and telling people when they've stepped over the line.
Yeah, very clear in his communication
Okay, have
and
the ball there
also
now.
willing to listen as
That's
well,
warm up.
which is always a bonus.
Give me a couple more steps. Couple more steps.
This time, Cooke come away with the ball.
Amo Addo in the back was alive to that and manages to get the steal or get the tackle and get a steal from Jane Neal there. So
Well, it was a good recovery for Belvedere.
yeah, an opportunity now to get a bit more territory. The linesman not being too generous with his calls.
It's 7 minutes left.
So you hear the ref.
Okay.
There are 7 minutes
When
left
they're defending. Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
in this first half. And an engrossing first half it's been too. It's been very even. Just those 2 tries
They're
for
fine.
Belvedere so far.
Yeah, it's really been that, the 2 teams are very evenly matched, and Cooke will feel like they're right in this. Great line out there again, really clean take from Jane Neal and delivery off
Vic
the top.
O'Mahony making 10 yards that he has no right to do.
She's so destructive when she's on the ball.
Gemma Farrell putting up an awkward kick.
And
It's going to hit the
it's
turf, and that's not what you wanted for either team.
Gathered by Kelly McCormill
Okay,
there.
beyond the ball now. Leave it go.
Now there's a good chance here.
Yes,
No
it's
cover on that open side.
very hard to pull down, but Belva
Marco!
slowing her down enough that they can get numbers round.
The defence striking up again.
Yeah. And great line speed by Grace Tuddy there to
Oh,
get
she
right
got
on the
out
Cooke
there.
player as soon as she receives the ball.
One feels that the Belvedere line may have been in front of the back foot, but not something the referee picked up on. And Cooke will continue with the ball, and
She's
that's
just
a lovely
fast, very
offload.
contagious.
Roll away, 3.
They were standing still.
No, it's just really fast.
Shoveled out to the left.
Advantage.
Knocked on there by the Cooke
Oh,
player.
Again, another handling error. Again, it's tough out there today. That ball is going to be like a bar of soap at the best of times.
Yeah, and look, we're thankful that the pitch is holding up remarkably well.
Looks great.
It does.
Looks in great nick.
Yeah.
There's our Mark Cook.
Again, we thank Ailish Slack for her hard work, and Eowyn Edwards, who also put in a
Yeah, okay.
good stint there trying
We're not
to
having the swim without her.
make sure it was in tip-top condition for today.
No standing water there now, like
No.
there was this morning.
No, dried out
All right.
nicely.
Crouch. Fine.
This is a super position for Belvedere now.
Steady.
I would love to see Katie Whelan picking up,
Ball's gone. Ball's gone.
come out to the open side.
Hopefully Minona Nunstead here, yeah, on the ball. Really good carry there.
Again, as you said, she's very difficult to bring down.
Belvedere go the short side and hopefully, yeah, get the ball to Grace Tuddy there. Nice pass by Anya Donnelly to draw and give. And Orla McAuliffe on the ball now.
She drives into the heart of the Cooke defence. Ball comes back. Katie Whelan again, the pack taking it on, driving nicely in the loose.
I think the Belvedere coaches will be pretty happy with
Oh, that's a beautiful line she's taken.
Oh, what a great line from Jess Keating there.
And Jess Keating has not only scored, she's done exactly what Gemma Farrow wants and brings the ball in towards the post.
Yeah.
And that's a third try with 5 minutes to go in the first half. And that brings Belvedere up to 17, and one suspects that Gemma will look forward to this kick.
Yeah, what a fantastic line by Jess Keating, and I believe her first try for Belvo as well. Jess is one of our youth players that has come up through our youth system and made it all the way to international as well. So we're really proud of her and so delighted she gets her first Belvo try.
Always great to see youth systems paying off.
Yes, and you know, Belvo's youth system is one that's been growing, and full credit to Niamh Lynch and Grace McCormick, Ailish Slack, and previous to that, Steph Barman and Orly Limousi, who all have done a huge amount of work to get Belvo's youth section to where it is today.
You see there, the speed at which she hit the line, and she went straight through the gap, and there was very little going to stop her from there.
Yeah.
Two players left flailing in a dust as she went round and in behind the posts. I do believe Gemma put that one wide. Bit of warming up going down on the
3
sidelines.
minutes left, Aisling, okay?
Yeah, Belvo have an excellent bench today, and we'll be looking to use that in the second half.
Yeah, okay.
Some really brilliant players on the bench. We've Aisha Zali, she's joined Belvo this year from Wanderers. An excellent hooker, excellent around the park. Jade Gaffney is a really promising scrum half who's seen plenty of AIL game time this year.
Your own time, Cooke.
Eva Starrett and Amy O'Mahony are both dual status with Greystones, and they have recently joined and don't look a bit out of place when they're playing first team rugby. So
You seem to be getting a lot of players joining.
Your own time.
yeah, well, I think when there's a club has a good culture and I suppose is performing well, who wouldn't want to join? So yeah, we've done some huge work with recruitment, and we'll continue to do so this summer because we're not sure how many of our contracted players we'll have next year, so we'll just have to put in the hard yards again when it comes to recruitment.
Touch!
Well, that ball's half charged down, finds its way into touch. And because of the charge down, it'll be a Belvedere line out as we go into the last 2 minutes of this first half.
You're on the line, yeah?
Yeah, Cooke will be very disappointed with
Cooke on the line. You've set your gap
with conceding a try just before half time. Those 10 minutes before and after are always kind of seen as the crucial minutes in a game.
I think Cooke will be more disappointed in not having scored any points at this stage of the game. They've had chances and they've had the ball.
Yeah, I think Belvo would be really happy with how they dealt with the Cooke purple patches. Cooke just coming up with the ball there.
Well, the ball getting shuffled along.
Tackle!
Till Hannah Downey decided to straighten it up and went to ground.
The ball going to Aisling O'Connell. Looks like Vic O'Mahony might be down.
And she's not happy.
No. Been carrying a bit of a knock as well.
That's not going to help the Belvedere scrum, but at the moment it's Cooke who are making ground down the right-hand side.
Just pulled down there by Emma Kelly.
You're tackled and you've got up and gone again. Yeah, I'll stop.
So
that's a shame.
Cooke player's not happy with the referee, but the referee
got up a second time.
called the Cooke player to be held in the tackle, and she got up and went again.
One.
Well, with the player down, there's going to be a break in play for a few minutes. It's always a shame. I always think that if a player goes down here with less than 2 minutes to half time, blow for half time, get them off, get them treated, and add 2 minutes to the second half.
Looks like Vic O'Mahony's going to have to come off here. She looks in a lot of bother.
She's certainly not going to leap to her feet here.
Let it go, stand up and then pick it up, or else play back.
I didn't hear tackle being called, sorry.
Yeah, but if they push it to ground, so that's what it's for, okay?
Looks like Amy O'Mahony's coming on.
Thank you for letting me know on the
means
kick-off.
there's a bit of reshuffling going on. I'd imagine she's either going to go into the second row or possibly the back row.
So I don't want to be kicked.
Depending on who goes into front row, possibly Orla McAuliffe or
I appreciate that.
Well, as you say, Vicar Mahoney, she doesn't look to be very comfortable at all. I think there's an element of frustration as well as pain.
Definitely picked up a bit of a knock last week in the Galwegians game, but I suppose shows her character that
Clock is off, take
she
as long
wanted
as you need.
to be
No
involved
rush.
this weekend.
No rush.
Hopefully it's nothing too sinister.
Well, there's plenty of attention there. It seems to be a knee, lower leg area that's
Okay,
causing
Declan.
her the difficulty.
Anything for me? 1 minute. Anything for me?
As the referee says, 1 minute to half time.
59 seconds left. We'll have time for the line.
59 seconds left.
There's 1 minute left, yeah.
Well, that's how serious the injury is. She's having to be helped from the pitch, and she's not using her right leg at all.
Yeah, struggling to weight bear a little bit. Hopefully we send Vic all the best there.
Have we replaced
She was having
McGon?
a super game
Thanks, yeah.
up until this point.
Okay.
There we go. Coach is
Hey guys, switch the water off, please.
carrying her from the sideline.
Yeah, Celeste
Okay.
Rack, our
No call yet.
wonderful physio, is helping to escort her. I think Ailish Egan is going to take over from Racky, who is short in stature.
Well, play continues in the background whilst Coach Johnny Garth assists Vicar Mahoney to the sidelines.
Lovely offload there by the Cooke player to get them a go forward ball.
Knock on
A
advantage.
knock on. Advantage to Belvedere. And this might show us how the second half's going to go.
Yeah, I think
And Vicar Mahoney on the
The number.
sidelines, and she is not comfortable at all. She's going back down to ground
Last
again.
play of the half, okay?
quite a few scrums here. You know, viewers at home might be wanting to drink every time there's a scrum. Here we are. This is last play of the game, so everyone can go get some.
Can't suggest that our viewing public have a drink every time there's a scrum.
Strictly for the over 18s.
You'd see the numbers disappearing. People fall over. You said 20 scrums for the game. I think there may have been certainly over a dozen already.
Yeah, and ball goes to Minona instead. Who
it's through
is-
on a gap. And
Yeah, she's still going,
do you know that is a fabulous tackle?
and very unlucky there.
Tamsin Boyce, about half the size.
Half-time call there, and it looks like Minona Nunstead might have just picked up a knock there in that last play.
That's a shame because
Yeah.
she burst through, and slight Tasmin Boyce did a fabulous job. She set herself really well, and then she just held on for dear life.
Yeah, you could see what Nunstead was trying to do there to get the offload away, but unfortunately just didn't quite get the timing right there. Knock on. That brings us to half-time.
It does. Interesting to see Emma Buckley putting on a top. But that was an entertaining first half.
Yeah, it was really, I think what ended up being a bit of a midfield battle, but when Belvo got into Cook's 22, they really converted a lot of their chances, and they'd be very happy with that first half. 17 points, a lot of breathing room going into the second half.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's about the cutting edge, and Belvedere have had a cutting edge.
It's a nice replay here of Emma Buckley's try here.
She worked so hard and refused to give up, and it paid off in the end. She turned and twisted and got the ball down.
Yeah, nice body position from her. And here's Katie Whelan making a nice break after an offload.
That was a nice try.
Yeah, it's always nice to score off set piece, isn't it?
I still think Jessica Keating's try?
Yeah, this is it here
This
now.
is it, yeah.
Lovely gap there, and
She
JJ just...
spots the gap.
Sorry, Emma Kelly, I believe, just puts her through it. Really excellent work for the two of them.
Emma Kelly did really well just to draw the defender to her and then pop the ball up, knowing that Keating was coming through at pace.
Yeah.
And that's a super try.
Emma Kelly's the kind of player who can do it all, really. She can play probably anywhere on the pitch and has a brilliant boot, brilliant hands, and just great vision, and is really strong in defence as well. So she did really well to just draw and give there.
So with the interprovincials and with the internationals, the Six Nations coming up soon, club rugby is almost done at this stage?
There are a couple more rounds left, so I think we have 3 games left after this week, and then all going well, there will be playoffs. So I think first place, second for the cup, third place, fourth for the plate, and fifth place, sixth for the shield. I think that's how it's arranged. So if you come 7th, 8th, 9th, you don't get anything or any kind of extra game there. So Belleville will be targeting being in one of those games. I think being in first place is probably, or first or second place is probably out of reach, but certainly we'll be targeting to be in either that shield or plate game,
And the top 2, Blackrock and Railway? Is it there?
It could be Railway and UL.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great to see.
Yeah. So, different teams are kind of facing different challenges at the moment. And, Railway and UL just consistently very strong. So it looks like they'll be in that final. However, Rock still performing very well. And the same goes for Wicklow, who have maybe only lost once or twice since this Cup series began.
Well, Wicklow have sort of, we commentated on them earlier in the season, and at that stage we said that they were a growing team and they certainly had a lot of potential, and they seem to be proving that in this Cup campaign now. Yeah,
they're really the story of the season. They had a challenging year in the previous season and have really just gone from strength to strength this year. They have a fantastic underage section, one of the best in the country, and that's really stood to them. And you can see how much they're building and growing, and they're really going to make a charge for that top 4 next year, I think.
And that's great to see. It really is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the season is structured next year as well, because there's a lot of talk. It's been recommended in the kind of rugby report that was done into women's rugby in Ireland, that the AIL be split into a 6 and 6 league, so there'd be a kind of a 1A and a 1B. So it's a controversial decision. I think a lot of the top 4 clubs are in favour of it, and I think ones that aren't top 4 may be less in favour of it, but it would make for some more competitive games. And possibly would bring up the standards across the board.
And that's the objective in the end, isn't it? I mean, it's all about the international side and bringing and providing players for that.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot of people are wondering, what does this make the AIL? Is it a development league that feeds into Interpros, that feeds into the Celtic Cup, or, is it the pathway? And I think that's something that people are looking for the IRFU to define.
Right, in one of those occasions where the bills have to be paid, it could be time for the sponsor of Old Belvedere to receive their contribution to this game.
Every used car has a story. At Windsor Certified, all ours have a happy ending. Buy used with confidence. Windsor, drive happy.
Well, it's half time. It's 17-0. The only thing I will say is the weather's improved. The rain seems to have slipped away. It doesn't seem as cold out there anymore, although that could be just the lights making it look warmer. So we'll leave you with the pictures for the moment, and we'll join you again for the start of the second half.
Not very expensive, is it?
Contrary to what you're hearing in the background, it's 27-10 in the crunch. But back here in Ollie Campbell Park, 17-0 to Belvedere. And now Belvedere have
Backward!
collected the ball. And make a start from here. Unusual to see on the Cooke side now. 16 on the pitch as well as 2.
Get up, get up!
That's a good kick by Gemma Farrell. It's going to find turf. And it just bounces up beautifully for the Cooke player. She takes it, and that goes through. Christy Hill doing a fine job, making some ground for Cooke.
Ball's available.
But the ball has come back on the Belvedere side. Gemma Farrell, she's jinking away from the defence.
Oh, sorry.
Goes to the blind side. It takes a driving forward to make the yards. Katie Whelan. Taken in and driven up again. Olive McAuliffe doing a fine job there. Oh, and that's a loose pass, and that has lost Belvedere 20 yards just from a loose pass. Anya Donnelly gives it to Katie Whelan, and she looks for touch on the far side, and that's a great kick. It founds turf and just rolls in just short of the halfway line. And that's a good start for Belvedere, except for that one loose pass. They were looking promising there. So a line out on the far side. It's Cooke's ball. They're 17-0 down as we get warmed up for the second half. Many thanks to our volunteers who are manning the cameras today, and of course our director and producer, Niall Walsh, bringing this fine production. Ball sort of slapped at and then goes to ground. Referee deciding it's all okay. Comes out, and Cooke driving into the heart of the Belvedere defence. And this time they're going a bit wider. It's Christy Hill again, doing a fine job for Cooke on the blind side wing forward. And they're driving one at a time. Hannah Downey shipping it on. Unfortunately for Megan Simpson, she got man and ball, and that's a lock on and a half. There is no advantage there. Nobody willing to dive on the ball or pick it up. And so no advantage, so the knock on, and the scrum down goes to Belvedere.
That's come. Knock on by your player.
No, I just wasn't going back because I was a penalty.
To be fair, it ties out the jersey sometimes.
Alana Van Straten has gone in. A tight head prop for Cooke.
Coach!
As Katie Whelan now prepares to put the ball in for Belvedere. The breeze that was in favour of Cooke in the first half has now sort of dissipated. Picked up, driven back. And again, Gemma Farrell taking on the inside centre. And that's a great steal. Absolutely fabulous work by Kathy McComill. And that's given Cooke the chance. They're driving up. There is room on this wing. If they come blind again, scrum half's thinking of it. Driven in, taking in 2 defenders. It's one-on-one on the outside again, and the scrum half goes for the gap. Oh, that's super play by Cooke. This is good driving play, and it earns them the penalty. Number 5 coming in at the side. It's a quick tap by Hannah Downey. She passes it on to her second row colleague, and they get inside the Belvedere 22.
Yeah, Cooke have made a very strong start to the second half here.
Obviously, some words from the coaching team. They're trying to get it wide now. There is space on the outside.
Yeah, nicely closed down there.
Tia Maguire taking it back inside, and unfortunately, with the weather conditions, another handling error brings that attack to a sudden jarring stop, and Belvedere will have the put in at the scrum here.
Yeah, I can see Eva Stairs is on the pitch there, and she made a good tackle, which kind of led to Belvo retaining possession or getting possession back.
So this scrum down, 15 yards in, 22 metres out.
Fine. Set. Steady.
Well, that was fed into the second rows, but it needed to be. And now that's a super kick.
Yeah, really well spotted by Katie Whelan there.
Finding a lot of space on that side. Megan Edwards having to go back and cover. She beats a couple,
and a good
but gets
chase
caught.
by Katie Whelan and Emma Addo there to hold Cooke back into their own 22.
One good kick, one good chase, and we've gone from 122 to the other. And now Cooke desperately trying to work their way out of trouble.
Belva probably just needs to tidy things up and tighten things up defensively. Things are looking a little bit loose.
Ball comes back on the Belvedere side.
Yeah,
Gemma Farrell has it, passes it on. There is room outside.
Some really nice passing there. And it looks like Claire Gorman could be in the corner here.
And that's a fine try for Claire Gorman. She hasn't had much to do in this game, but what she's done now is add another 5 points to the Belvedere score.
Yeah, Claire Gorman, a smashing player, and would have been itching to get her hands on the ball, and converts pretty easily there into the corner after some nice offloads by the rest of the team.
Well, not only nice offloads, but they're also drawing the defender and not letting somebody sort of sprint to the corner to cut Claire off. So it was good work there. Whelan passing it on as it popped out the wrong side as far as Cooke were concerned.
Yeah.
Gemma Farrell just bypassing one defender.
I think you can really see the influence of the J1's team and that try there, the stamp of the J1's team. A lot of pass and give and pass and go and just keeping that ball alive there. So Coach Kathy Murphy, he'll be watching from Carton House, I believe, this evening. Will be very happy with that.
Well, the most difficult of the kicks so far comes back off the post.
Yeah, not a bad effort there by Gemma Farrell.
Well, that's a good start for Belvedere because Cooke had made a strong start to the second half.
They had, and then a score 5 minutes into the second half is the last thing Cooke would have wanted, especially when they were on the front foot.
Well, as you said, that 10 minutes before half-time, 10 minutes behalf, and that's 12 points that Belvedere have put up in that crucial time.
Yeah, they really are kind of critical minutes, and it's kind of when a game can be won and lost. So Belvedere would be very happy with scoring a try in either side of half-time.
One would say that these teams are actually very evenly matched, but Belvedere seem to have a more cutting edge.
Yeah, it's been fairly even. But I do think maybe Belvedere's quality just showing, particularly in their backline.
You certainly wouldn't have said it's a 22-0 blowout at this stage. I mean, it is a very even game, but Belvedere have managed to get the ball over the try line on 3 occasions now. 4 occasions.
Yeah, that's a bonus point, try bonus point in the bag there. So that's Belva's first points of this cup competition. They'll be very happy with that.
Well, 1 point in the bag. They'll be looking for the other 4 over the course of this next 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you'd have to say the odds are in their favour with that one.
But Cooke will also be looking to get their name on the score sheet. They've done so well for 80 yards of the pitch. It's just that final 20. They've had trouble getting through the Belvedere defence.
Yeah, green zone attack is something that the coaches have worked a lot on this year, and it is, that's what the top teams can do. They can punish as soon as they get into that zone.
And only putting a pass out there, and it was rather snatched at by one of the forwards, and it's resulted in a knock-on and another scrum down. One thing I have been absolutely delighted to see this year was how well Tala RFC have done.
Yes, Tala, who are coached by,
Are you okay, Hooker?
I suppose, former Belva player, but still Belva club member.
Belva at heart.
Yes.
Even if you don't play a club, you never leave a club, really, do you?
That's it, yeah. You can leave Belva, but Belva will never leave you. So, yeah, Hayley has joined Tala as their head coach this year and took them to
League win.
a league win, yeah, I think Division 4 win and undefeated maybe in that league campaign. So they'll be looking to push on next year in Division 3 and have a good cup campaign.
Well, the good thing about a side like that is that with success, the side will stay together, as opposed to if you only had a 50-50 season, some of your better players then decide that their ambition will only be matched in another club. But it seems that Tala have that ambition now, and even just appointing Hayley in the first place showed that, and they've done very well this year.
Yeah, I think any winning culture is quite good, a good attraction. So hopefully we'll see them go from strength to strength next year.
Certainly a lot easier to be a member of a winning team than it is. I say from bitter experience on the cricket field. I haven't won a game in 3 years, I don't think. But yes, and it was great to see Hayley do so well with the Tala.
Yeah, we're super proud of her.
Are we still on?
It's great to see, more and
You're
more
on it,
women and female coaches coming out of Old Belvedere.
Well, that's where the growth of the game has to be, really, is that people, even when they finish playing, don't just abandon the game, but are kept in the game, whether it be coaching or managing or whatever else. There's so many jobs that need doing around. You certainly need more than just 23 players.
Yeah, it really takes a village, and we have an excellent culture of staying on in Belvo, and there are plenty of roles and responsibilities that we need filled. So, we really promote that and are so happy and delighted to have all the people we have helping out year in, year out.
Some of them aren't even rugby related, and in fact are sort of our camera people today.
Yeah, we've a really interesting lineup with the camera team there.
Oh, that's a great move by Claire Gorman. She's beaten one, and she puts Grace away. Good back inside pass, and that's great interplay by the two wingers, and it's another try for Belvedere, and it goes to show that as strong as Cooke have been in the set piece, when the ball is spread wide, that's where the cutting edge is for Belvedere.
Yeah, Claire Gorman getting on the ball more in this second half and made a brilliant run to release Grace Tuddy, who gives her the ball back, and she scores in the corner again.
Well, the only person who won't be happy with that try, of course, has a number 10 on her back, because she has to convert it from the sideline, and it's on the wrong side for a foot.
She made a good effort with the last one on the left-hand side of the pitch, so I'm sure she'll give it her best boost here again.
Unfortunately not. You also move it that way if you want. Now you're at it. Yeah. No. It's
Johnny Garth making sure both referee and kicker well hydrated.
Yeah, I think just that should have rolled on.
And player receiving attention.
The ground after.
But that's a good try for Belvedere. Great to see two wingers combining so well.
Yeah, you always want your wingers to hunt for the ball like that, and Claire Gorman came off her wing to get on the ball there and gets deserved reward.
Oh, a super effort from Gemma Farrell. It's just left of the post.
Yeah, not far off there at all.
It wasn't at all. And here it is again. Let's see Claire Gorman. She stops the defender and then hands her off beautifully. Textbook handoff. She sees she has Grace with her. Draws the fullback. Grace then pops the ball back inside, and at that stage, nothing is going to stop her reaching the line.
We assume she scores the try there. I think
even though
Dan O'Brien's hood getting in the way there. A nice cameo from Anya Donnelly there to release Claire Gorman as well. She'll be happy with that. So
27-0, bonus point in place. And it's likely that the 4 points for the win are going to come Belvedere's way as well.
Waiting for the next scrum. do you? It is at home at least.
Amanda Walton with ball in hand. She'll be taking the kick off for Cooke now.
You're on time. Yep.
Walker quick to kick to take, but beautifully taken.
Yeah, Amy O'Mahony straight on that ball there and makes some nice yards. She's a very dynamic player.
Gemma Farrell deciding that the place to play the game is in the Cooke half. Finding turf, but it's well picked up.
Tackle release over there.
Helen McGee beating the first up tackler. Oh, another knock on in the middle of the field, but the referee says it's knocked backwards.
Yeah, a bit of a 50-50 goal there by the referee.
I think even the referee's had enough scrums at this stage.
Perhaps that's why.
Another injured player down on
Looks
the
like
Cooke side.
Belvo have come up with the ball there as well. Emma Addo making a carry there.
Don't come in the side, 17, no! 17, don't come in the side.
Very messy at the back of that ruck there.
Finally gets sorted out. Lana Boyle taking it in.
And Eva Starrett making a nice run up the wing here. We apologise for anyone who could hear Neva Dowd on the mics there. Orla McAuliffe taking the ball up there.
She makes sure her knees hit the ground. The referee calls tackle. It comes out to Katie Whelan. It goes around to Gemma Farrell. She looks for the gap. The gap that closed very quickly.
They'll have numbers out wide here if they can get the ball out.
All it needs is the ball to go.
Just a knock on there by Belvo, so it'll be scrum penalty for Cooke.
Advantage over.
Tasman Boyce just securing the ball for Cooke. Oh, another knock on.
Yeah,
Going.
not a long advantage for Cooke there. I'm sure they feel hard done by, but Belvo have come up with the ball and Nadine Murta is handing off people left, right and centre.
Advantage over.
Halfway through into their 22 now.
The ref
Bit of a loose
calling
pass
advantage
from Emma
over
Buckley there.
both ways very quickly. As I say, he may be avoiding the fact that he's going to have to call a scrum. Gemma Farrell with no out route decides to take it up.
See Claire Gorman there identifying that there's less numbers on the right hand side of the pitch and is trying to indicate the play should go that way.
Well,
again, a bit messy at the back of a ruck, and it seems to have been booted through. Ronnie Donnelly's there to tidy it up and does well.
Goes down and gets up in one movement, and that's a very good play.
Yeah, sure pair of hands there by Ronnie Donnelly.
That's fine through the middle, that's fine.
And Cooke are just all over Belvo's rucks.
Play on.
The coaches are going to be really annoyed at that, and Belvo really just need to tighten it up here because they're going backwards at a rate of knots because of the poor rucking.
Well, Cooke seemed to make the most ground when Belvedere have got the ball.
Yeah, ball is out.
Yeah, which seems counterintuitive, really, doesn't it?
Anya Donnelly met by a firm wall of Cooke players.
Been given a few hospital passes, so she's doing well. And a great kick by Gemma Jackson there, really found a bit of grass there and a nice gain there of territory.
Well, the game was certainly helped by Cooke kicking it out on the full.
Yeah.
As Gemma Farrell found turf again, her kicking has been very good today.
Yeah, she's a really good tactical kicker. Has been known to kick many a 50-22 in her day. I'm sure she'll be looking for a few of those. And yeah, she's really pulling the strings there. You can see Emma Tilley has gone out into the pitch. Not sure who's come off. Possibly Claire Gorman there. 2 tries is enough. The coaches feel you've had your fill there today, Claire.
Nicely driven, staying on her feet.
Excellent carry by Emma Kelly there.
Super work by Kelly. Ball goes out. Melissa Hayden making yards as well. Belvedere's hands becoming slightly more assured as the game goes on. Oh, that's a beautiful...
Yeah. Claire Gorman's still on the pitch, so it must be Grace Tuddy who's come off then. And a nice offload there to Katie Whelan from on Johnny.
Is there support there for her? The tackle is made. Player rolls away beautifully. Ref will be pleased with that.
Lovely tip on by Orla McAuliffe to Amy O'Mahony there. And a nice pass there to release Emma Buckley on the tip on there.
Gemma Farrell has had a fine day today, orchestrating things here.
Emma Kelly just stood in 10 there and was able to kind of orchestrate things as well. She's played a few games for 10 at Belvo, and it's great to have so many playmakers on the pitch in that back line.
This is possibly the best passage of play Belvedere have had. They've been driving in numbers.
Yeah, and much
still
improved
driving and still pushing through, and she's made 15, 20 yards there.
Super carry by Orla McAuliffe. And Jess Keating on another one of her runs. An excellent try, and she's on 2 as well now.
Well, that's a fine try, and again, Gemma Farrell just realising the player was on her shoulder, shipped on the ball, another 5 points.
Belva have done put in a lot of practice for those kind of wrap runs where someone just appears off your shoulder. So it's great to see Jess Keating executing not 1 but 2 of those today.
So as the sunlight slowly fades away, one feels that the challenge of Cooke has also faded away at this stage. One would like to see them get on the board. Their effort today has certainly deserved points.
Yeah, I think especially in that first half, they're really putting it up to Belvo, and they would feel that they deserve a try.
Again, the difference between the two sides is that cutting edge that Belvedere have had. The number of times they've crossed the line.
Nice kick by Gemma Farrell there to bring it up to 34-0.
Well, it's not a 34-0 game, but that's what the scoreboard says at the moment.
Yeah, I think just Belvoir kind of showing the difference in class here. They do have, I suppose, the strongest team available to them out, and
that's
a really strong bench.
Missing your 20 players between call-ups, injuries, trips away.
Yeah, but they were looking to put out a statement today, and I think they've kind of shown that now that we're still a very strong team, and we'll be looking to finish this season out strong.
Well, one thing you'd have to say is the players who are unavailable today will be watching this and wondering how they're going to get back into the team.
Absolutely. Myself included.
No.
Super play again, and they have numbers again here. If it's released, it is.
Beautiful,
and that's beautifully played by
Eva
Keating. And, this is a super run now into the open space, puts the kick on the ground, chasing up her own kick. And that's a great tackle as well. Couldn't ask for any more than that. She does exactly what's required.
Wasn't her best grubber, but she followed it up with a brilliant tackle.
She made it look like a good kick from the brilliant tackle.
Exactly.
Cooke under pressure again in their 22. If there's one place that Belvedere have dominated, it's in territory.
Aideen Murtagh just bundling the Cooke player into touch there.
Oh, good. Huh? Yeah. I was happy enough that one anyway. Yeah. That's fine, so. Yeah.
We enter into the last quarter of the game now. Two questions we have really are, will Cooke get on the scoreboard?
If I missed it, I apologize for that.
And what margin will Belvedere put up?
Yeah, I think Belvo have a really strong bench, which they'll be looking to use now in these last 20 minutes. Some brilliant players on the bench who deserve their game time. Seems like there's a pretty severe injury to a Cooke player down there.
Katie Hetherington. She's really in a bad way. Well, the teams will just separate there now, and we'll let the attention go out to Katie and hope that it's not as serious as it sounds.
Yeah, all of our thoughts with Katie there. Hopefully it's nothing too bad.
So your next game is?
Belvedere play Suetonians away in 2 weeks' time. So I think it's the weekend of the 25th. And I suppose Suttonians have maybe struggled a bit this season, so Belva will again be looking to get a win in that game and kind of continue with this momentum.
Well, you said they hadn't earned a point in the Cup so far. Well, they've done very well today, haven't they?
They have, and I think, the coaches are really looking at the bigger picture here, and they want to get as many people AIL game time as possible. So we can see Aisha Zali coming on to the pitch and Amma Addo coming off, both players who have predominantly played J1 this season. And I think Aisha's on for her first AIL cap, so good luck to her, and we'll see what she can do. She's brilliant around the park, particularly within the turnover is one of her real strengths. So she'll be looking to get on the ball today.
Well, Katie Hetherington being carried from the playing field. There's a substitution obviously going to happen here, and we wish Katie all the best and hope that their injury isn't as bad as it sounded.
Yeah, she's coming off the pitch on her feet with some assistance, which is always positive.
Nicola Sloan comes onto the pitch to take her place.
We'll just make sure that the player's off the field.
Again, it's another leg injury. She is very gingerly leaving the pitch.
Yep, okay.
Whereas Nicola Sloan rushing on.
We'll take safety first if in doubt.
So Aisha Azali into the front row there. Orla McAuliffe alongside her and Melissa Hayden. So a bit of a reshuffle there. Jess Keating going into the back row where she has also applied her trade on occasion.
Well, I'll give you some idea of the conditions out there now. You see the steam coming off the scrum. And although they're going backwards, Belvedere have managed to get the ball out.
Yeah, Katie Whelan does well to get that ball away.
And it goes across the back line until
Emma Tilley making a scything run here.
She's beaten 4, 5, 6 players. She's
Really
finally being caught,
feat.
but she's still working away, and she's through.
She's still going.
Oh my goodness! Perseverance pays off as she gets it over the line and dots it down for the 7th Belvedere try.
Really well taken try. First, one of her first touches on the ball there, and she had no right to get that try. Really,
it's a bit like one of the Welsh tries this morning. From 8 yards out, 5 tackles missed, 5 points on the ground on the board.
Yeah, super run there by Emma Tilley. She'll be delighted with that.
Gemma Farrell will also be happy enough. It was scored close enough to the post that she'll be popping this one over, she'll hope.
I have a feeling I'm going to get a bit of abuse off JJ after this when she watches this back for letting people in on that particular anecdote.
Secret.
I'm not sure. She said she heard
Now,
it when she landed.
She's already beaten one player.
Came down hard in her foot.
There she beats a second.
I'd say from well outside the 22
Third,
as well.
4th,
No, I didn't say foul play.
5th,
No.
6th, 7th. Well, talk about beating half the side on your way to the try line.
Yeah, really good.
And the scrum half would have been the 8th.
Yeah, she's small in stature, but has great power there to shrug off all of those tacklers.
Absolute perseverance. Many players would have decided to go to ground and wait for the support, but no, she kept fighting, she kept going, and finally burst out the far side.
Yeah, and Gemma Jackson, with that, exits the field after securing the conversion, and Laura Carty is on.
She's probably looking for you now.
Probably, yeah, she's going to come straight up here and give me some abuse. And it looks like Katie Whelan has also come off, and Jade Gaffney comes onto the pitch. So Belvo emptying the bench now.
Well, 40 points on the board, 14 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's good to give people meaningful game time and give them time to kind of grow and learn at this level. And all the players who've come on are more than capable of holding their own here.
Backward!
Well, that comes off Keating and runs back into the 22. But it doesn't stop Jane Neal picking it up and driving back towards that 22.
So Laura Carty standing in 10 there, just looking to exit. A bit of a messy ruck. Jade Gaffney having to dig for that ball.
Well offside. Yeah. And the referee's going to award the penalty there now because that's no advantage.
Yeah. And gives Laura a bit of time to just set herself and gain some territory there. She's a very good boot on her Gaelic football player as well, so will be well able to clear this ball.
Well, in Le Crunch, they're certainly only going one way. England, when did they last concede nearly 50 points in Twickenham?
I don't think anyone really predicted that scoreline. I kind of thought it would be a closer game, but France might edge it. But it's turning into what looks like an emphatic win.
Yeah, news good.
Steve Borthwick still going with his World Cup preparations.
You can have that.
And the best of luck with that, Steve. Anyway, back to Ollie Campbell Park. Line out just about on the halfway line.
Half back, Energia.
A little bit of confusion there in the Belvedere line out.
You two scrum half, 16 and a half, you joined the line out. You were scrum half and you scrum half. You two receivers.
Right. Seems to be a bit of confusion in the Belvedere line out, both in the call and in who was standing in scrum half. So they'll look to sort that out for the next one.
That's one they might look back on tape to see exactly what happened. And instead of a kick,
scrum halves, okay? So
Cooke have decided to go for the scrum.
At the line, okay? I can't have you both as receivers.
Yeah, I suppose a couple changes being made to the Belvedere team and a relatively new line-out kind of line-up anyways. Elaine Anthony missing from the line-out and Clodagh Dunn and a few others. So a good challenge for those who are in there today.
But great for Old Belvedere that Jane Neal and Emma Buckley have done so well in the second row today that Elaine Anthony and Clodagh Dunn, have they been missed? Yeah, I think they have been missed, but I think their replacements have stood up to the plate and they've done a fabulous job.
Yeah, they've more than held their own, and I think this is what the coaches are looking for the rest of the season, is just to build strength and depth, and we've been doing that successfully today. Even our J1 team finished out their season against Blackrock on Tuesday, and there were plenty of players in that team who played AIL rugby this year, and you could really tell the difference in quality that stood to them. So big things coming for both teams next year.
Steady.
And the Combined Brothers' team did very well.
They did. They were undefeated. It has to be said, I suppose the makeup of the two teams the three teams are very different. A lot of players in the Irish squad had international experience, and I think the Scottish and Welsh teams maybe didn't have as much and had a lot of younger players, but still very positive for Irish development, and those players will be looking to push on in the Six Nations, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
And very heartening for Greg McWilliams as well, that he is building that depth and getting people game time at such a high level.
Yeah, he chose a squad of I think over 40 players, and I think every single one of those players saw game time. So it's good that he's able to look at different combinations. One of those players in the Cooke side actually is Kelly McCormill, standing in at 12, I believe, and noticeable for her space buns, and I'm told that she has her hair in such a way because it's easier for her mum to see her on the sideline.
I know Jean-Pierre Rives of France used to dye his blonde so he'd be noticed by the selectors. I don't think it was so his mum could watch.
Great carry there.
Great driving run, getting an extra 20 metres.
Only 18 and physically is as able as anybody.
Again, Belvedere hitting the stride now. It's got to be tough for Cooke at this stage. They're 41-0 down. Another penalty for Belvedere.
Yeah. A really nice tip on there, and Jess Keating again coming onto the ball at great speed. And Jade Gaffney, brilliant hands there. And Laura Carty making a brilliant run.
Oh, that's a super run through the gap.
Herself up.
Vantage over.
She helps the defender by slipping.
Yeah. Great vision by Laura Carty there.
She'd made great yardage, and now back to the forwards. Emma Buckley goes to ground, comes back out.
Yeah, and Belva really on the front foot here. Lots of strong carries. And Aisha Azali on the ball there, making a nice run.
Again, finds turf, gets the ball back, it comes out again. And again, Keating coming at great pace. She's very good at timing those runs into the line.
She is, yeah. And as I said, it's something that's practiced in training over and over, and she really has nailed the timing of it. And Laura Carty doing an excellent job here of pulling the strings. She's really organising this attack very well. And it's fantastic to see. Eva Starrett again on the ball.
Release 5.
Eva, a former student of mine, so that's
Off
made
her
me
leg,
feel quite
forward.
old when I was
No, she wasn't.
used to teach her out in Greystones.
Knock on advantage. Okay, turnover's fine, mate. You've just lost the forward.
Well, Cooke did the tough work and they forced the turnover. Unfortunately, they knocked it on, and it's gifted the ball back to Belvedere straight away.
Yeah, you'd have to say Belvo's
Knock on by 8
hands
to the
have
turnover.
been superior today. There have been a lot of scrums, but I think Belvo probably have had
8.
to put in a few more times than Cooke.
We okay, Plummer?
Bit of huffing and puffing going on.
Oh,
You
sorry,
can
I
see
didn't
the
hear that.
clouds
You
of
okay?
steam, for want of a better word, rising on the pitch now, showing just how
here's the
chilly
mark.
it is. You can see the rain coming down. It's cold, it's wet.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to be out there, Craig, I also think I'm happy to
Sometimes-
be in here with the pint.
Sometimes the commentary box is the safest place to be.
Yeah, it's a bit warmer.
Crouch.
You'd love to be out there, though, wouldn't you?
I would love to be out there. I would. Can't wait to get back.
They go down
Amy
the blind
O'Mahony
side.
picking off the back there, delivers it to Jade Gaffney.
Gaffney does a fine job again, just securing the ball, making sure it's there.
One of 3 or 4 players on the team
Gavin, you're
who
straight off your feet.
are only 18.
Gavin Latcher,
So the
straight
future
off
is
feet.
bright in Belvo. We have Jade Gaffney, Eva Sterrett, Amy O'Mahony, Jane Neal, all only turned 18 this season, and you'd have to say they don't look a bit out of place on this team.
Well, if they're good enough, they're old enough.
That's it. Is that Warren Gatland?
There was one
Oh, that's historical.
You either need to roll away
Historical.
immediately.
In my case, it's if you're old enough. Can you still play?
On my hand with you.
Well, the Pembroke 5th team would be lost without you, Craig.
Sorry, time off. Player down.
So as we wait for a line out going into the last 5 minutes or so of this game, you can see the rain is now teeming down.
It just seems to be time off for a Cooke injury here.
You okay? Take time. Time's off. Take whatever time you need.
I have to say the touch judge on this near side looks bedraggled, I think is the phrase.
I think he's feeling the cold. And looks to be clock in the red for the England-France game, and it's 10 points to 53.
Well, I have to say, do you know, I'll say it on air here now. England aren't a bad bet for the World Cup. Because they did all the rankings 3 years ago,
Yeah.
the top 5 teams ranked in the world at the moment are all in the same side of the draw.
Yeah.
So England could very easily pop out of the other side of the draw in the final, and one-on-one, anything can happen.
Yeah. I think I would have had more confidence
okay?
in that prediction if Eddie Jones is still the coach. I think Borthwick has big plans, but
Yeah, I think we have someone on, do we?
takes
We have a
time
placement
to
on?
bed in systems, and
It's
he
the time, isn't it?
doesn't seem to know his first team at all yet, or his starting 15.
Doesn't seem to know his best out half.
No, and that's the big
Okay.
one.
And who are you going to build it around? Are you going to go for the maverick that is Smith or the solid, dependable Owen Farrell?
I think I'd go for both of them. I'd go for
Or
that
George
10-12 and keep them both on the pitch.
I wouldn't be surprised to see George Ford featuring in the last game against Ireland.
We'll see.
But certainly the English are going to be smarting from a 50-point concession
No, not out.
at Twickenham.
Strong carry from Aisling O'Connell there, not held in the tackle, and brings them up to the halfway line.
It's one of the few good drives by the Cooke players, but again, they've
Just
been
lost
stripped.
in contact. Eva
Oh,
Sterrett
and it's gone
loses
forward.
it again. And
The
Cooke
game
off the
is
ball.
breaking down into a big game of sevens now.
Yeah,
Both sides. Oh,
that rain is tough to deal with.
Okay, no advantage, always under pressure.
Yeah, so
No advantage from knock on.
Cooke will have a scrum
Always
here.
under pressure.
last few minutes now. Cooke will be determined not to concede anymore. And in fact, from this scrum, they'll be hoping that they can get down the pitch. With it being a Cooke scrum, yes, Anya Donnelly now going back to cover.
Bind! Set! Steady!
Yeah, I think the last line of defence we have to be pretty happy today. You know, anytime Cooke have come into Belva's 22, they have managed to deal with it. Just kicked forward there, and Belva pounced on that ball. Laura Carty tidying up.
Well, it was a poor pass to Tia Maguire, but she put a boot on it, and that did nothing really except gift the ball back to Belvedere.
Just lost forward in contact, but the referee doesn't seem to have noticed. So I think Cooke, or it's anyone's ball really. Cooke have it now. Stacey Sloan making another strong carry, and a lovely offload there to Helen McGee.
Some good hands from Cooke at last. It's a shame it's taken them to the 77th minute. But they're doing their best, short into passing, looking for a gap.
All the way 20. I'm out.
And surely, ref. Absolutely.
That's just a little high for.
That's a high tackle. It's tap and go. Oh, the referee
I
obviously
didn't see a tap.
didn't see a tap.
If I did, I'll let you go, but I didn't see a tap. Okay. Number 4, just high.
Well, Emma Buckley has had a game of
Go.
tremendous work. She really has done top work in that second row for Belvedere. Cooke decided to go for another scrum. So with 2 and a bit minutes to go, person of the match?
Oh, I knew this question was coming. I think on the Cooke side, Stacey Sloan really put in a really strong performance there. Lots of standout people on the Belvo side. I think Claire Gorman had a really good second half. Player of the match for me, I think possibly Jess Keating. What do you think?
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I think there's many people you could choose from the Belva side. I think Emma Kelly's had a smashing game, Minona Nunstead as well. So there's lots of people who've really put their hand up, and I think it's an all-round strong team performance. But just for her all-round work on the park, both sides of the ball, she's made a few turnovers and scored a pair of tries as well. We're going to give man of the match to Jess Keating.
And well deserved.
Yeah, very well deserved.
Well, as Amanda Morton lies on what must be very cold and wet turf, the pain in her leg must be something else if she's willing to lie on that grass at the moment.
Yeah, the pitch now has
3 minutes left.
3 weeks to dry out, and the next round of home games isn't until April.
Time is off.
So
time is off.
Plenty of time for this.
Double header here on the 1st of April?
I think so. Don't ask me who's playing. I know our men's team are away to Naas on the 25th, and we're away to Stonians.
But I think you're both playing at home on the 1st of April.
Yes,
I think Niall is covering both games.
We're playing Ballincollig, and Niall might tell us who the men's game is against. He's fishing for his phone, so just talk amongst yourselves for the next while.
Google will look after that one for us.
Banbridge. So club or home club of Gemma Jackson and her husband Charlie Farrell, so I'm sure there'll be a bit of spice to that one as well. Belvo men's team 2nd in the league now, and going really well. We'll be looking to finish strong and in the playoff spots and push for 1A.
So in the last 3 minutes now, Cooke, for what seems like an age, have made it into the Belvedere 22.
Lovely line out there.
Belvedere with a sloppy pass, hand thrown out at it, and causes another knock on.
Yeah, unlucky there because it was a brilliant take from Aideen Murta, who offloaded to Jess Keating. Didn't quite get the pass executed properly to Jade.
Well, I feel there's plenty of positives for both sides to take out of this game again. Cooke will be looking to develop, and having seen Belvedere's cutting edge, they'll be looking to develop one of their own.
Yeah, I think Cooke have they really have not stopped going forward and gave Belvo a lot of problems at scrum time and in the ruck as well. So they'll take away plenty of that. And they came down here with 19 players today. So, they've put in a performance they can be proud of.
And Belvedere and the coaching staff will be happy with their work.
I think they'll be happy. Definitely. And there's been some really strong performances here.
But also plenty to work on.
Yes, and I think that's kind of the ideal scenario after you finish a game, where you can have lots of positives but still lots to work on.
Until a team plays the perfect game, there'll always be something to work on. Cooke now desperate.
Looks like there was a head injury here to Buckley, so
it'll be your
time called off.
As the rain is teeming down. I think both sides will be glad to make it back to the warmth of the dressing room.
Yeah, I can't imagine
I have to stop though. You're in possession, so it'll be your scrum. Okay.
I think the post-match talk might take place in the changing rooms. I'm sure everyone outside will be...
It might start in the changing rooms, but it usually continues in the bar for quite a few hours, and in fact gets more vocal as the pints go down.
So it'll be their scrum. Was a safety call. So team in possession gets the scrum, okay? So it'll be a Cooke scrum here when we restart.
So Cooke will have a scrum inside the 22 as we go to the last minute or so of this game. And will Cooke be able to get across the whitewash?
Okay, have we a sub on?
Yeah, Belvo will be looking to keep Cooke out here and finish strongly. Emma Buckley jogging off the pitch there. That's always a sign of someone who doesn't want to be coming off.
Or somebody who wants a tracksuit top, a hot water bottle and a hot porter, as you mentioned earlier.
Shoulder. Coach! 5, 6.
Well, we enter this last minute, and while Cooke make their final attack, their final effort, number 8 picks up and tries to drive around the edge and makes it a few yards.
Belvo will be really happy
drive again.
There. Lots of replacements in the front row.
Cooke definitely trying to use the power of their pack at this stage. They've tried the backs, and now it's going to be held up.
Yeah, very well done by the Belvo defence there. I think Emma Kelly in underneath that ball. And yeah, a great scrum by Belvo. I thought Cooke would try and drive over, and especially given that we have Aisha, Zali and Orla McAuliffe in the front row where they didn't start, and I think they did fantastically well, so credit to them.
Cooke still with the ball.
Yeah.
As the clock turns red.
Clever effort with the shortened drop out there, just trying to get Belvo on the ball, but it means Cooke now have the advantage in terms of territory.
That's a fine tackle. The second row thought that she was going to drive forward, but her legs were taken away from her.
Clock just ticking into the red
Hannah
here.
Downey, short pass, another short pass, and the left winger puts it down.
Emma Kelly gathers it and gives it to Laura Carty, who boots it on.
It's still in play.
Last play, according to the referee. Belvo will be looking to just
finish this game off now.
Yeah.
They've managed to get back in.
A few missed tackles there.
To the Pembroke half with a fine run.
The Pembroke half.
Sorry. Belvedere half.
Force of habit.
The one time I've done that now.
And
she's through.
And could be in for a try here.
Hand off of the fullback.
Yeah, really well done. Really well chased back there by Emma Tilley.
Well,
Jade Gaffney
that tackle was needed because she looked like she was through.
Yeah, super work, super tracking back by
Hannah
Emma
Downey
Tilley.
again.
Yeah.
She goes to ground. The ball comes back on the Cooke side. They are desperate for a final score, and they're putting a lot of effort in here, and it's forcing Belvedere to put a lot of effort in to keep them out.
Yeah, they're at 6s and 7s here, but they're managing to deal with it, and hopefully if they can slow Cooke down, they can get their defence set.
Ball coming back again, and it's another drive by the forwards, and one wonders if Cooke had started this earlier on.
Shrill blast of the referee's whistle, and it looks to be a Belvo penalty. So they'll be delighted with that. You can imagine the tap will be taken, and they'll kick the ball out to finish out the game.
Not releasing is the call. Belvedere must have been over the ball and making efforts to get it back.
You have to top it if you want something. Yes, you can kick over the dead ball.
So Laura Carty going to finish out this game. And it must be said, she did a fantastic job when she came on here. So well done to Laura and to all of the team for securing that win there.
Well, that's a fine win for Belvedere here at Ollie Campbell Park. Saturday afternoon entertainment. And I'll tell you, hell of a game. The scoreline is 41-zip, but I think Cooke were better than Zip. And I think Belvedere did very well to score that many tries.
I think credit to Belvo as well, though. They really took their opportunities, and I think their class really showed in the end there. Scoring nearly 20 points in each half or thereabouts. And great to see so many people get their opportunities off the bench as well. They scored more points in the second half than they did in the first, so that's always a huge positive.
Well, they didn't take their foot off the pedal, or in fact their foot off the throat of Cooke in that second half, and most of the play was played in the Cooke half. Despite them having such a strong scrum, as you said at the start, that's where their strength lay. And in fact, in those last few minutes, one felt that Cooke went through the forwards far more than they did the backs, and positively to their advantage. But that's a good win.
Nice work on the sideline cam there by Neva Dowd and company. She was threatening to do this all day, so we might get some interviews. It looks like Neve's talking to the camera.
The rain's killed the mic on the camera.
Unfortunately, the rain has killed the mic. That's what Niall's saying anyways. There is a conspiracy against Neva Dowd, and she's
talking on air.
And talking on air. So, wake up, sheeple.
Well, the two teams clapping each other off the pitch. One side will certainly be happier than the other. But that's a super game. Super return to form for Belvedere, back to winning ways, and they can now go out to, did you say Suetonians in their next game?
Yeah, they'll be looking to put out another statement win like they did today and finish that season strong. It's great that to get 5 points and come off the bottom of the table and, full steam ahead.
Well, thanks very much for today, Leslie. It's been always entertaining coming down to watch Belvedere.
Always a pleasure, Craig.
I'm hoping that next time there's a home game, you won't be in the commentary box, but you will in fact be out on the pitch.
Yes, I should be off the bold step by then.
Subject to selection. Because I have to say that Aideen and Amma and Orla did a super job in the back row. You're going to have to force your way back in there somehow.
They did, and Amy O'Mahony as well, who came off the bench. It's a really, really competitive area. It's great to have such strength and depth in that area, and
it's great to have that strength and depth, so long as you're at the top of that pile. Otherwise, it's kind of like, do we really need three open side flankers?
Well, I think the anytime someone new joins, there is always what position are you? And everyone's always hoping it's not a back row, because it's one of the most competitive areas we have. It's also one of the highest rates of injury as well. So it's always good to have lots of competitors there.
Well, there you see on your screen, Keating going in for that try where she hit the line with such speed and such a gap. Made it look so easy. And again,
Jade
the cutting
Gaffney
edge.
can only stand on and applaud in the background.
So thank you very much for joining us today. The 33 of you that have remained until now.
Yeah, the Belvo Ultras.
We'll leave you with the pictures, the highlights, the Belvedere tries, and the sound in the background of the victorious team leaving the field. So from Leslie and myself, anyway, we'll leave you with the pictures, and we'll say thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, enjoy your refreshments.
Thank you very much.